Hey guys, DJ Kino. I don't know if you can hear me well, I hope you can, but I'm just going to do a quick demo of my mapping for the DDJ sp1. For the most part, it's the exact same as Serato, but of course it just has some doper features since I was able to mess around with it. So first up we have the effects. So this is effect bank 1, this is effect bank 2. These are the dry wets. Click it to go all the way up. Just like in Serato, you can hold shift and move these around to decide the different effects that they hold. But instead of tap, all they are presets. You could have up to 4, or you can actually have up to 7, but I've mapped 4 myself in. They're usually coloring type effects. Then down here is where they change. This one right here, that's going to be your break. This right here is going to be, the middle one is going to be your delay. So if you're a scratch DJ like myself and you like a little bit of DJ situation, maybe if I put the tractor on the needle. So that's the delay right here, works for both of them, post fader. If you turn one on one side, you can't have it on the other. That's the only thing with the delay, and as well as the break. But also, if you turn the delay on, these white knobs right here, so the dry wet of effect 1, dry wet of effect 2, and then the browser button, they all become something different. This becomes the dry wet for the delay. This becomes the feedback. So if we have this becomes the rate. And you can change it up. Word. This right here is going to be your delay freeze. That's just a hold. You can change that, of course, also if you want. And it does still work if you have your delay on. So you can't do that. Just know, delays, all of these effects really are only on one side each. This right here is your slip mode, so flux mode, sensor, same thing. Parameters are changed per thing. Now this is the auto loop function, so you click it and it becomes a loop. Click it again and it turns it off, but it always goes to 8 no matter what is your loop feature right now, which is dope because in Serato you always have to look at the screen, make sure it's on 8 and then click it. But this, now you just know it's always 8. This is your sync button. Hold shift, click sync to make it the master. So if you're only using effects, you can hold shift, master, master. I actually have it set up reverse because I never use sync. Just kidding. Up next is going to be the middle section. This is effect 1 right here. Tells you which deck it's affecting. It's the same thing right here. These buttons aren't used, so they just became my play pause functions for deck A and deck B. This browser, same thing. This makes you this makes you relocate the track, and this makes you add it to the preparation list. And then these are the load buttons. Hold down shift and they all become the loop recorder. Of course you can vice versa all these, so right now I actually have it set up where this is just loop record, loop record off. This is the dry wet. This is going to be play pause. This is going to be delete and stop it. This is going to be the size, and then this is going to be undo redo, and then these are my other features. But you hold shift, that's what they all become, etc., etc. Word up. Up next is the hot cue functions. Hot cue, all lights and everything. Hold shift to delete them. Parameter 1, change it. If you hold it down and click whatever hot cue, it changes it to a grid marker. If you hold this one, parameter 2, it changes it to a loop. So now that's always going to be on a loop. And then off onto roll. These right here are going to be your beat rolls. If we go back, sorry. And then it also turns on slip mode temporarily. You can see that. And then these buttons are going to be your beat jumps. So scroll through the track. If you're in loop, it moves the loop with it, which is a different feature that Tractor doesn't normally have. That took a bit of brain power. Yeah. quick edit in there. If you go to roll, these two buttons do change the beat jump value. So this is set at 16 right now. I hit this button, make it at 8. Hit this button, make it at 4. Or go back to 16 with that one. Just want to get that in there. That's my proud moment right there. Up next is the slicer mode. You go into slicer mode and it turns it on, but it doesn't activate anything. So what you do, instead of just going straight there, I have that right here. Now I'm in slicer mode. These buttons aren't anything right now, so you can map them to anything you want. Right now I have these mapped to switch out my time codes, but they can be anything that you want. But as soon as you're in here, parameter 1, turn that on right there. It turns on the slicer effect, so it's looping it. And then this one right here is freeze mode. This is how it works with Serato. Boom, boom. Boom. In your version, when you turn on the slicer, these buttons are going to be lit up. Also, I loaded a different version of the mapping first on accident. Up next is your sampler. Sampler is where it gets a bit interesting. It's for Remix Deck C, and this is slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4. Yeah. And then if they're loaded, they're lit. If they're not loaded, they're not. Parameter 1 and 2 on this side are different than on this side, alright? So this mapping is actually made so you can set up your own remix decks. Okay, check it out. So parameter 1 on this side, whole loop in on deck A. Let's just get this. Let's say I want to get this kick right here. So we're going to go boom. And then I click loop out. So now I just have that right there. I'm going to hold down parameter 1 and click any pad I want. And now that pad is assigned to it. Again, same thing with the lights. You guys will be up. And then hold down shift, whichever button you have, and then the first button in that slot, and that changes the mode. So now it's 1. But if I hold shift, press this button, that's now a loop. Good. And then this button is to delete the slot. So now nothing's in there. Of course, you hold down shift, parameter 1 and 2 on this side become move the remix deck around. Same thing on this side, so it's the same thing. So shift for that. This is going to be the volume. What else? Shift for slip makes relative. Shift for sensor makes it internal. That's about it, really. Everything else is sort of, well, that is everything. Cool. Thanks, guys.